Data engineering as a career is booming, and there are many high paying jobs available in this domain. And today we are glad to have Ankit Bansal with us. Ankit needs no introductions. Actually, many of my friends who works in data engineering domain call him SQL Guru, and he is very much active on LinkedIn, and I love reading his articles and the posts related to data engineering and the SQL. And he recently crossed near to 50,000 subscriber on LinkedIn. Ankit, I'm right? I think it's going to cross 60,000, right?
Yeah, 60K on LinkedIn and 40K on YouTube.
Yeah. And his channel is rated one of the top rated channel for learning SQLs. And one of the experience I would like to share before giving going for the other things. So I was giving the interview for MongoDB, and MongoDB is a very good company to work for data engineering. And the same problem which he has explained in his YouTube channel, the interviewer asked me. He or has actually seen the same video, and they asked me the ditto same problem. So let's not waste time. And Ankit has recently launched his SQL course. I will give the link in the descriptions. One can check it out. Ankit, over to you. Will you please give little intro about yourself, how you got into this data engineering domain? Have you started working as a data engineering domain? Little bit about your college and your educational background. Over to you, Ankit.
Thank you, first of all, Uncle, for inviting me. It's a pleasure talking to you on the podcast. So I have around 12 years of experience, and I'm, very accidental data engineer, you can say. So
Okay.
I have done my engineering in electronics and communication. Okay. I had no idea during my graduation what I'm going to do next. Okay. I somehow got placed in Infosys. And in Infosys, I had a stream training on SAP ABAP,
Mm-hmm.
Now, after that, generally in these Infosys and service-based company, you will have a bench period. Okay, after that.
Right.
And I was not getting any project in SAP. So I was put into ETL. So I became ETL developer that way. Okay. I started as a ETL developer, as a data stage developer. Data stage is an IBM ETL tool.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I didn't know much about it. What is programming? Even I'm not a software developer, you say. I'm not a core software developer because I have not done, first of all, in computer science. I have not studied computer science at all, right? First thing is with data, that's all. And slowly, after, when you work on ETL tools, you little bit work on SQL here and there to extract data. Not much, just to extract data and read data, write data, that's it, So initial 5 years of my careers, I was into purely ETL, data integration, data warehousing, and SQL was just 10-20% part of it. That's it. Okay. Now, what happened was I was in Nest Technology, okay, my third company, and I got a ELT project. ELT, we load everything into a database, and everything, all transformation, everything we do in database itself. There's no ETL tool involved in that. Everything using SQL. So there I worked on NetEza, IBM NetEza. That was for pure analytics. And that changed my career forever, I worked 1 year, day in, day out, we were working on SQL, building matrices, building lot of stuff on SQL only. So that changed my career. And after that, Deloitte also was a different experience. I was into product development. I worked on there as ETL developer, backend developer, UI developer, everything, So, and then suddenly I got some call from Amazon, I was not expecting at all. It was a different, my career has been very, I didn't plan for anything, but God has had better plans for me. So yeah, great to be here.
Yeah, right. So my career is not long like you, but when I started in college, I was very good with the statistics, probability, linear algebra, calculus, and this type of things. And I was good with the programming. So I always try to see myself as a data scientist. So if I will go into the domain, then I will be going and working for data scientist things. But I was very much having that love for writing codes as such. And in the last year of my college, I realized that I am much near to software engineering instead of going to the mathematical things. Yeah, I like it, but I like writing code much. So yeah, I got to know that about data engineering after my college gets over, and then I get into one startup where the people were working on data, not on big data, but not normal data. And there, from there, I worked in with one of the client Motilal Oswal and got into this data engineering term. I also call myself as an accidental data engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ankit, so you are working currently at AWS. So when we try to imagine any software engineer role, it becomes little easier to imagine it. But when someone try to understand what a data engineer do at a product-based company like Amazon, Google, or Airbnb, what they actually do, what is your day-to-day activity as a data engineer, and how you power products and how you help the businesses? Will you please like to talk about it?
Yeah, good question. So there are many data engineering roles at Amazon, right? I'll talk about mine. I'm into analytics team. Okay, so I'm part of supply chain analytics team at AWS. Okay, I'll give you background what we do exactly as a team. Okay, so AWS has all the services, cloud services, right? You use day in day out.
Right.
All
Right.
God is using. It is on cloud, but nothing is on cloud, right? Everything is physically present somewhere, right?
Right.
Amazon has data centers globally, right? Those are connected through networks to internet, and through internet you access all the services, right?
Right.
Now, what is there in those data centers? You have different racks, right? You have EC2 racks, S3 racks, all kinds of racks, right? And what is there in racks? There are different components like CPU, hard disk,
CPU, hard disk.
all these kind of things, right? Now, Amazon is growing like anything, AWS, right?
Right.
Right. Now we have to maintain enough inventory at all the data centers, right? So we have different kind of racks. We have to forecast how many racks we need, new racks we need in each data center, right? We are launching data centers every day, right? Planning that, right? As well as, let's say you have a rack, okay, and something is breaking in that rack, some dongle is breaking, right? So you will not replace full rack. You will just replace a dongle. That's it.
Right.
So you have to do two levels of planning. One is planning for rack, and the planning for spare parts, right? That at each data center, I should have, let's say, 100 dongles, right? If something break, I will replace it. So all this is a planning, right? Planning how much we need and coordination with vendors. We have different vendors. From there we procure all these things. So as part of supply chain analytics team, we plan globally. We do global forecasting, how much things we need. We work with procurement team also that will be available. We work with businesses also to build a lot of matrices, right? Like for example, just giving you example of one of the metrics, like availability. Availability is like, let's say you have a data centers and there are 100 break fix, right? 100 dongles are breaking, right? Globally. Now, how many times the dongle was present in the data center immediately? So if out of 100, 95 times it is present, I will say my availability is 95%. Okay. So we build a lot of matrices. We give a lot of insights to our business customers. So our customers are internal customers. We are not dealing with external customers, right? We deal with vendors, that's a different thing. But customer point of view, we have internal customers. They want to understand how the demand is varying, what are the things which are impacting demand. So a lot of analytics and data engineering work we do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I recently uploaded one video with Ronnie Basu. She is also working for the Alexa, and she also explained that how data engineers come to pictures. It's not the direct roles which is very much customer facing or customer centric. It's that we are helping our business to grow and business to optimize by creating data pipelines or giving insights or doing analytics, and there are multiple things involved. And if someone get into this domain, they will also start understanding more about these things. Yeah, but this is a cool stuff. Yeah, and so Ankit, I have one more question. So Just wanted to know means what it takes to get into data engineering domain at a good tech company like Amazon. Which all skills, according to you, is the most important skills for getting into this company? I know there are multiple rounds involved, like behavioral rounds, system designs, and SQL, DSA, and multiple other things. Will you please like to walk through those processes and how someone can get into good tech company like
Okay, so
AWS or Amazon?
one thing is there's no general rule. Okay, in data engineering also there are different kinds of roles. You have data engineering for analytics, like I'm working on, right? There's core data engineering, which are building systems, right? So there are different kinds of role, first of all. So you have to find your niche, what you are good at. Okay, you cannot learn all the things. In data engineering, there are a lot of stuff, right? Spark, SQL, that system design, database. You cannot learn everything. So you have to find what you are good at, and you have to map yourself. Okay, I'm good in this, so I can go for these data engineering roles. Okay. Now, when it comes to data engineering, first thing is obviously SQL. Okay. SQL is common. No matter what data engineering role you are going, you have to learn SQL. And the advantage of learning SQL is, if you learn SQL, you are eligible for other roles also. Data analyst, business intelligence engineer, business analyst. Okay. So SQL too you have to learn. You don't have to think twice about it. That should I learn SQL or not? Just learn it. It will benefit you. Second thing which you should also learn along with SQL is Python. Okay. Python nowadays is used a lot in data engineering. Okay. The reason is it is a general purpose language. You can do everything in this. You can do data analytics. Okay. You can do data engineering both. Everything you can do. You can connect to databases. You have libraries to play with data like NumPy, Pandas. You can do web scraping. You can do automation. You know, we use Python to do a lot of automation. When I joined 2 years back, there was a lot of manual work we used to do, you know, and we have now at least 100 plus automation scripts, you know, and like businesses used to do those manual work, and we moved to those things to Python. So they have more time. They are more productive now. You know, they can focus on business things instead of doing this manual work. Okay. So SQL and Python are must if you want to come into data engineering. Apart from that, definitely everything is moving towards cloud. So learn one cloud. It can be anything, not necessarily AWS. You can learn Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, anything. If you learn one, it is easy to move to other one also. Right. Like in SQL, if you learn SQL and SQL Server, you can do it on Oracle also, right? You can do it on Reddit also. You can do it on
Oracle, right.
So it is like getting a fundamentals clear. Automatically, you will learn everything else. Okay. So these three things. And apart from that, yes, you should have exposure to distributed systems like Spark or Hadoop. You should know at least what it is, how it works, you know, and pretty much you are ready for data engineering.
Right. Ankit, so whenever I talk to software engineer, data engineer, particularly from Amazon, there is behavioral round, and the behavioral questions that is very much asked in the Amazon interview. What is that behavioral round? What does that actually consist of? Is it only checking about one's attitude, the soft skills, or it's much more than that? How Amazon evaluates on this particular round?
I'm actually eligible for answer this question because I have taken 50 plus interviews at Amazon. You know, it consists of technical rounds plus behavioral rounds both. Okay, so though I know in and out how it works and what they evaluate, and I'm part of discussions that we have to hire candidate or not. So first of all, behavioral round has equal importance as your technical round. If you think you are pro in technical and you will crack Amazon, no. You should be as good in behavior also.
Yeah, right.
They will not take you no matter how good you are in technical. If you are not doing good in behavioral round, they will not take you. That's it. Full stop. Now, what is behavioral round? So Amazon has 14 leadership principles. Okay, you can just Google Amazon's leadership principle. There are 14. So I'll just tell you, for example, 2, 3. Like customer obsession, one of the leadership principle. Another is invent and simplify. Okay. So what happens for each role? Okay, let's say for my team, data engineer role, my manager will decide which 4 or 5 leadership principles are important for this role. For each role, that can be different. Out of 14, manager has to decide that out of these 14, these 3, 4 or 5 leadership principles is necessary for this role. Okay. And based on those leadership principles, the behavioral question will be asked. So, for example, in your loop interview, once you clear phone screen, you have 4 to 5 rounds. In each of the round, you will be asked question based on one of the leadership principles. So each individual will given, okay, you will ask question based on customer obsession. You should ask based on invent and simplify. Okay. And we will then note it down. Everyone has to note it down what candidate has said. And then once this is done, everyone will read everyone else comments. Okay. So we want to see, do they really have this thing, like have they done something innovative? When I talk about invent and simplify, when I talk about customer obsession, have they went ahead of their role and did something for customer to make them happy? They have delighted customers, right? So we want to see that, do they really have these qualities? If they have these qualities and they have good technical skills, they are good for those, right? And you just have technical roles, but you don't have those leadership principle qualities, right? So we will not take you, definitely. So it is very, very important for Amazon.
Right. That's the right. Means always I talk to any AWS engineer or Amazon engineers. My friends, I have more than 30 to 40 friends now. And those who are taking interview, they always say that people are actually talking about DSA, SQL, this and that on YouTube channels. But actually, when it comes to evaluations, the most important part is your behavioral round. If somebody is asking you some questions, then you should be very much specific about what you are answering. They are actually noting it down, and that will go to hiring manager, and then they will decide about that. Thank you for putting your insights, Ankit. I think it will be very much beneficial to everyone who is going to watch this video. Okay, let's move to one most important topic, and which is very much close to my heart, that you are also producing a great content around SQL. Means, will you like to talk about why SQL is very much important in the data engineering aspect, not only in data engineering, anyone who is working with data. And when I say SQL, it's not mean to say, I don't mean to say writing SQL, but I mean to say if someone can think from the SQL perspective, how someone can develop that thinking skills, that I have to apply left join, right join, or do the group by, or go use the Windows functions. So how one can start from zero and can get into a great or good SQL developer and write good SQL query.
Okay, so first of all, let me talk about SQL a little bit. Okay, so SQL is already there from many years, 3, 4, 5 decades, I think. Around 10 years or 15 years back, people started moving towards Java, right? MapReduce, Hadoop and all came into picture. But you see, again, we are moving towards SQL in recent time, you see, right? Everything is again moving towards BigQuery, right? Everything is moving again towards SQL,
right?
So SQL is fundamental to data engineering, okay? And it will be there for next 10, 15, 20 years. I don't know after that. Okay, so the best part about SQL is it is very intuitive, okay, and you don't need a lot of time to learn it. Let's say you are learning Java, you will take full year to cover entire concepts, or DSA, for example. SQL, if you see, they are limited 15 to 20 keywords. That's it. The whole word of SQL is 15 to 20 keywords. You don't have to spend days to learn about it, right? Once you learn it, once you understand each of the keyword, what it does, and what you have to start thinking is, you are a database. You have to start thinking like that. If I am a database and I have to execute this SQL code, right? How will I go about it? If you start thinking like that, it becomes very easy. And how to learn SQL is, you just have to learn one concept, apply it. Learn second concept, apply first concept and second concept both. Learn third concept, apply first, second, third concept all together. And slowly you will start building that thinking, how to think like a SQL. Okay. lot of candidates reach out to me.
Right.
See, there are so many resources on internet to learn SQL. YouTube, Udemy, so many people are teaching SQL, and so many people reach out to me that we have done course,
Right.
but when it comes to interview, we are not able to crack the SQL. That is the main problem. 80% of people say the same thing. Okay. The thing is, they learn concept, but they are not thinking like SQL. Okay. And that's why I'm launching my SQL course also. My whole aim of this course is I can transfer my thinking of SQL to others. Okay. In my session, I will be solving lot of questions and I will be telling them that how I think about it, how you should go about it. And I will explain them how database thinks about it. Okay. And slowly, if you 2 to 3 months, you can become a good in SQL. See, mastering will take anything you master will take time.
Right.
It is not,
Right.
I will say in 6 weeks, I will make you master of SQL. It is impossible. No one can do that. But I can give you the right path to become master in next 2-3 years. So you have to practice a lot for that.
Right. So yeah. Ankit, I will like to talk about one story that happened with one of my friends. Her name, she was also working with Infosys, and she is, I think it's near to 8 or 9 months now. She has to Hasdale, and she was working near to very less the 1-digit salary. Now she is getting 2-digit salary, more than actually that. And she used to say me the same thing, that I'm doing this many courses and SQLs, but I'm not able to write the query in the interview. So I told her the same thing. Just try to learn. There are only 15 sets of concept in SQL. Take one concept, learn from here, and actually go through your videos. Some of your video, because your videos on YouTube are very much near to the interview. So yeah, it's very near to the interview. So I told her that watch Ankit video. Just take that concept, take the Windows functions, and make 10 problems. Don't run behind the theory as such. Just try to develop your thinking only on Windows function. Then once Windows function is done, then try to figure out that why window functions, why not group by. And once you start figuring out these things, and it's much easier. Thanks to you, means she cracked multiple offer and working in 2-digit salaries. She got more than 200 to 300% of hike. And she was just sitting on bench on Infosys for many months, and that was a wonderful moment for her. Ankit, this is the very deep talk we actually completed till now. I have actually created one fun round. That's the Blitz round, where you don't have to be diplomatic. You have to say in one word, and we will move to the next. It's like coffee with current with some technical aspects. Okay. Let's start. This Blitz round. So read the programming language in order of your preference as a data engineer: Scala, Java, Python, and Shell scripts. And start from the least preference.
Okay, Java.
Yeah.
Java, and then Shell script, Scala, and Python.
Cool. And what is the worst advice you have got while you are working as a data engineer or working in an IT domain, that somebody said something and that was the actually worst advice for you?
So worst advice is, nowadays a lot of people work towards, they look at the result only. They don't look at the process. Okay. And many people say, why you are doing this? Your manager will not know, you will not get any benefit, and that is the worst advice for me. Whatever you are getting to work, just take it, because you will learn something new. Don't think that for everything you are doing, your manager should know and you should get some appraisal for it. No. If you think like that, you will not be able to succeed in IT. So just think about from your learning perspective. If you are learning something, just do it. Don't think anything else.
Right. We will talk about one of my story. I just remember after this, please out. Okay. Is Apache Spark optimizations overrated?
A little bit. Okay. Nowadays, databases and all these things are so advanced, they take care of things by themselves, But having said that, you should know you should know how to optimize it, and you should know the intrinsic of it, what is in detail it is there. You should deep dive and know everything. So you will be setting apart yourself from the general audience.
Okay. Sometimes do you feel data engineering
Not at all.
as a boring?
Not at all. I get challenged every day for something new. So not at all till now.
Okay. Please let us know your preference. I will be giving some option. You have to choose one. Okay. Commercial or open source? SQL or some drag and drop system? Tableau, Power BI or Looker? Okay. Technical skills or soft skills? Okay. AWS, GCP or Azure?
I am biased.
Okay. Okay. Learning from blogs, documentations, or watching some videos?
I would say both. Again, depends on where you get a good content.
Okay.
Just go for it. Doesn't matter how it is.
Right. So, do you think Scala may overturn Python in coming years?
I don't think so.
In the
use of Python will make it a win always.
Okay, that's a very short Blitz round. So one more questions I wanted to ask. So let's suppose if someone is starting, or you are starting from you are starting it again. You are given some chance to start your data engineering career again, not to be accidental data engineers like us. How you will plan your learning? Let's suppose somebody is looking 2 or 3 years ahead and trying to learn as a data engineer. With this technical stacks, how you will plan?
I think I will go back to the basics. I will learn SQL, I will learn databases, I will learn data modeling, I will learn data warehouses. These are ABCD of data. Before you go into this Spark, AWS, all these things, you should learn fundamentals. If your fundamentals are strong, these things will come like this. Okay. So data modeling, nowadays no one talks about data modeling. One of the most important thing in data modeling. You build tables day in, day out, but you don't know how actually you have to optimize this. It comes under data modeling. Right. Data warehousing, how you build your data warehouse, data marts. I will focus on those things first, right? And plus SQL, obviously. And then I will move on to this big data stuff and cloud.
Okay. Great. I know we are crossing our times near to 30 minutes. Before closing this talk, I just wanted to have one personal questions that I got. How you set your boundaries as a creator and as a working professional? I know you work very deep when you are working for your code and as such. How do you set your boundaries? Because there are multiple talks that goes on LinkedIn, YouTube. You might find some bad comments. I find sometimes now I'm learning, I'm still young. So sometimes I see 10 good comments that will not affect me, but one bad comment I will be like, oh, I should improve, or I'm doing something wrong. How do you set your boundaries as a content creator?
So actually, I believe in deep work. I don't know if you have that book. So I work in patches. Okay. So I will work for 2 hours and will keep everything aside, phone and all. And my full focus is on work. Okay. If you do a deep work in 2 hours, you can do a lot of things. If you're working in a distracted world, you have phone on your side. That may take 8 to 10 hours. What you can do in 2 hours, that might take 10 hours.
Right.
So first thing is that. Second thing about comments, I don't care, to be honest. Okay.
Now
if 9 people are happy, one is not happy, that is fine. Okay. No matter what you do, some people will criticize you. It is true even for Virat Kohli.
Right.
We saw the amazing game.
Last match, I still can't believe it. That how he has done it.
Still people are criticizing. Right? So for MS Dhoni, Saurav Ganguly, if people can criticize them, who are we? Nothing, right? So don't care about it.
That's it. Right. Setting the boundary is very much important. When I started, I was very shy person to get into this domain, and I am very friendly person who likes to spend my time with my friends and giving time and taking them some times and creating content. I was actually not sure. I started learning. Actually, paused for some months also. I paused for some month, then again come back to this thing and trying to whenever I'm getting some times, I'm trying to do whatever I can. Uh, Thank you, Ankit. Thank you for your time. It's really great to talk about you and talk about your journey and your way of thinking. I hope anyone watching this video will get benefits from this video. And Ankit is going to launch his new course. I will give the descriptions in below. Feel free to check it out. It is one of the best course that you will ever find. And
Thank you,
yeah,
Anjan.
thank you, Ankit. Thank you,
You are
Ankit, for
also
your
doing
time.
great job. I see you are doing some podcast with women in tech. That's a great initiative. You know, a lot of women.
Yeah,
I see in my YouTube
yeah.
statistics also only out of my all the viewers, 80% are male and 20% are female. So I think we should encourage women more and more to come
Right.
into technology, and these kind of postcards that you do will definitely help people out there.
You're right, right, Ankit. I just wanted to change from my there are certain things that happened while I was a child. So it's like there were many girls who were as equal talented like me, but I belongs to very remote place called Bihar, one of the state in India, and their girls were not allowed to go for higher studies. I just wanted to change that mentality that there are girls who are as good as us, doing as great as us. Just believe that if given some wings to their
Right.
wings, then they will always fly. So that's the motto about that. Thank you for your shout out. Thank you, Ankit, again.
Thank
Thank you.